So when I was a junior in high school, I took a Gothic and horror literature class as one of my electives. During that class, we basically just analyzed literature from the Gothic and horror themes. In that class, we did quite a few writing exercises, and one of my favorites was probably round robin writing. Round robin writing is basically an exercise of creative works where a bunch of authors sit around, and each author gets to write one section. Sometimes it's chapters, depending on what you're writing, or paragraphs in this case. During that class, each person started with one piece of notebook paper, and on that notebook paper, you were supposed to write a couple of sentences that would sound like a good start to a horror story. And once you were done with that, you passed the paper to the person sitting next to you, and then they would write the two sentences that they thought would fit best with the sentences you've written. And then you just continue the story by passing it around to all of the people in the room, so you get the piece of paper back and get to see what the final story is. What I'm about to read to you is a story that I like to call Kool-Aid Carnage. The blood-red eyes glowed from the inky blackness of the shadows. The shadows morphed and shifted in unpleasant and sickening ways. Okay, so that's what I started off with. Sounds pretty good, right? It's okay. A deep growl emanated from the farthest corner of the room. The whimper of a child could be heard coming from somewhere in the shadowy dark. Okay, we're still off to a good start. That's actually Moonblood who wrote that. The child screamed as a loud, crunchy noise emitted from its direction, then a quick snap, and the silence resumed for a few moments. A slurping noise began. We're still off to a good start. You know, the first 3 paragraphs were okay, and then it takes a turn. Next thing you see is the Kool-Aid man stepping out of the shadows. He remarks, tasty. You could see the fresh chunks of the kid floating within him. The Kool-Aid man finally had a blood sacrifice that would bring him back to life after 600 years underground. Apparently, Kool-Aid man's a demon. I don't know. He emerged on the surface and began wreaking havoc on the town. No one was safe from his wrath. Children were gobbled in seconds, while the slightly larger individuals were too gummy to chew. After devouring an entire block, the Kool-Aid man spotted a fruit stand. Now, I don't know exactly what happens here after this paragraph, but apparently we had some miscommunication between the person who wrote that paragraph and the person that writes it after them. He walked toward the salad. I don't know where the salad came from. It's just there. Not knowing that someone had poisoned the salad in an attempt to stop him. Of course he didn't know. The salad wasn't there 2 seconds ago. He slowly reached for it, mouth watering for a taste of ranch dressing. As he lifted the fork to his mouth, a boy stepped from the shadows and begged him not to eat it. And when I say plus, I mean they literally just wrote the plus sign, the plus symbol. The boy screamed, "Don't eat it, don't eat it." The boy begged and begged until he ate it, which makes it sound like the Kool-Aid man ate it. But wait. Then the boy who ate the dressing collapsed on the floor. I didn't even know the boy ate the dressing until that sentence. He struggled for a while. He died, but wait. But came back. He yelled in pain, begged to be put out of his misery, yet no one would do it. They were waiting to see if he would explode, because that's what happens when you ingest poison, right? Isn't that what happens? You explode? Whatever. The Kool-Aid man picked up the trembling child and devoured him. Before anyone knew what was happening, the giant Kool-Aid pitcher exploded in a large, loud red mess, covering everyone around. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching this. I hope you really enjoyed it. I did as well. It's quite entertaining. If you guys enjoyed this, let me know down in the comments. If you guys want to give me suggestions for what else to do with this kind of narrative storytelling, go ahead and let me know down in the comments below. If you have fan fiction that you'd like to suggest that I do a dramatic reading for, go ahead and link those down there. And I will see you guys next time.